All right, traders, to watch this video for July 22nd, which is going to be a Monday. Kind of an ugly candle in the SPY in that it gapped up and almost engulfed Thursday's candle, but I don't give a lot of weight to that. We're still basically sitting around all-time highs. For those of you that haven't been in chat lately, I got to share this. Got to brag on Wayne a little bit. Look at these are just some of the recent highlights from chat, and I feel like the reason I made this little video or this little screenshot is because I feel like every day I'm having to write great alert by Wayne, great alert by Wayne. So I highlighted them all, and man, it's just been on fire. So if you're in chat and not paying attention to his calls, most of them are over the mic because they're in the first couple hours, but you know, they can be any time of day. You should start paying attention. And then I want to give props to just everybody in the room because NEPT came back from lunch and I saw, let's see, it was actually Chris's post that I saw NEPT nearing 6. And I looked at it, right? And these are 5-minute candles. So it topped out at exactly 6 yesterday, or I should say Thursday because I'm making this video on Saturday. Came up again, hit it during lunch. I wouldn't have wanted to take that anyway. As a matter of fact, I think Ramesh asked me about this when it was getting near 6, and I basically said, well, it's got upside shape. We're entering lunch, and the SPY is hitting lows for the day, so I'm not interested. So I go to lunch, come back, and I see Chris WA's post, which was right there, nearing 6 again. And now I see this kind of cup and handle and a clean seller at 6. Jumped on the mic and shared the idea and got filled right at 6. You can see my fill right there. And it quickly popped. I mean, that was a nice little just after lunch trade. But I wouldn't have even seen it if it wasn't for all these heads up all day. The teamwork in there is fantastic. So, you know, if you haven't been in chat lately, you need to get your butt in there because it's firing on all cylinders. What am I watching for Monday? OTLK had this volume spike, over 25 million shares on Thursday. Kind of a quiet inside day on Friday. You guys know me. You know I would have preferred this day to be closer to Thursday's high. But nonetheless, I'm still going to watch it. I still like the chart in that it broke out on big volume on Thursday, and it's holding up still above this, I don't know, 1 month range it's in. So it's certainly worth having on a chart. XELB, please note that it only traded 276,000 shares on Friday. It had a huge move back here, a few days lower, and I don't know, you got a possible, like a break of a half on Monday. Then you have 254 would be Friday's high, 259 would be Thursday's high. So if you switch to 15-minute candles, you can kind of see the 2-day high right here. I'm not in love with it, but it did make this huge move. And then a clean pullback, and it's starting to turn back up. So we're going to watch it. SES, don't generally trade stuff under $1, but anyone who knows me, probably already glancing at this chart, knows why this is interesting. Big volume here for the stock, so big relative volume. That popped it, and it's flagging. Not just that, but what do you see up here? 200-day, which can oftentimes be a magnet. People like targets. There's a great example of a target above. If we break through this flag, you do have a potential 200-day run to the 200-day. So I am going to keep my eyes on SES. Solo had this pop, and this really kind of flagging ever since. Topped out, what, 4 sessions ago, 297. Topped out 295 on Friday. So this one is still interesting back through 3, knowing that this high from that big volume day is 325. That could be a target, and if it gets through 325, might just squeeze. So Solo has an interesting chart to me. SOLY has round tripped, but you could also argue that you had this massive move back here, then a nice secondary move, and you know, now you could argue that it's in a range, right, from here to here, and we're at the bottom of a range. So I am going to put it on bounce watch. APRN. I am going to watch this, even though kind of like SOLY, it had this big pop, and now over the course of a few days has round tripped. You could also argue, well, it's back to support. It's back to the 20-day, kind of a nice narrow range on the day on Friday. So I do like this over Friday's high, over 869. You might get kind of a secondary little mini intraday squeeze in this thing. That move 4 sessions ago was just huge. 819 to 1365, really nice volume. So I do think it's worth having on bounce watch. BPTH, another one that popped and is pretty much round tripped. Let me zoom in so you can see it a little better. certainly a narrow range on, especially for this stock when it gets moving. It's like in a 50-cent range, 50, 53-cent range. It is interesting if it breaks Friday's high, but we'll have to see. That is a spready stock, and because it's round tripped, I just don't like this one very much, but we'll watch it anyway. I had a nice trade in it the other day. GCI, let me pan out a little bit so you can see the magnitude of that move. It did close well off of its highs though, but maybe we get a red to green or something like that in it on Monday. AMC, I think there's a lot of shorts in this name, and big volume on Friday, right? Big volume. Closing well off its highs though, but we'll see. We'll see if it gives us a red to green or something. And lastly, I've got MYGN, another nice volume day for this stock. Closing off of its highs. They did have what seemed like good news on Friday, so again, maybe a red to green in that one. Well, I'm gonna leave the list at that. We'll add gappers as we always do every morning in chat. We'll go over the gappers before the opening bell. Hopefully, we get a decent gap play and the teamwork again. Let's keep it up. People are posting good news plays on the fly and everything else, and again, keep a close eye on Wayne. He's been on fire. I'm done babbling. It's Saturday, and now I'm done working for the weekend. So enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'll see y'all on Monday morning.